So when I'm terminating fiber, the first thing I do is route the fiber all the way through the LIU, of course with the LIU mounted to the rack. And I'll do that before I strip the fiber. Now when it comes to stripping the fiber, I use my snips. I score it all the way around, just like that. This is the shielded fiber. Once I score it, just like that. So you guys can see it. Score it all the way around, just like that. Then after I score it, I just slightly bend it like that. Like that, and then I just kind of open it up. I twist it, open it up, and you'll see that. I get my snips. I carefully cut that little piece of metal. Then that gets me down to the buffer tube. There we go. Then I usually get about a good loop. It's about 3 feet before I strip it to the bare fiber. And when I strip it, same thing. I score it with my snips, just like that. Just enough to do a little score. And then I just pull gently, just like that. There we go. And I have about another 3 feet. Well, I'll say more than 3 feet of fiber, which is good. Because all this is going to get figured 8 into the LIU. And then I usually put tape right here just to give it a little bit more protection. Just like that. Usually go a few times around. There we go. There we go. And then I separate the fiber from the Kevlar. Just like that. Once I separate it, I cut most of the Kevlar off. Careful not to cut the yellow one. I leave about 8 inches of Kevlar because I'm gonna braid it. And the Kevlar is used to tie to the LIU to protect the fiber if it gets yanked or pulled. And most people braid it, some don't. Tie them out at the end. Cut some of the excess off. There we go. I got my 12 fibers there. You can cut this little string. This just to strip back some more of the buffer tube, but you can cut that off. You don't need it. And there we go. Like I said, I'll leave about 4 or 5 feet of bare fiber. Now, when it comes to terminating fiber, this is the cleaver that I use. This is a Sumitomo knockoff, but it's basically the same thing. And that's the stripper that I use. This one has the measuring there. Not just 10, you can measure it anywhere from 10 to 15. Let me see if I can zoom in. There it is. Yep, a little hard to see the numbers. The Leviton FastCams. They cleave at 10.5, as stated there. They cleave at 10.5, but anywhere between 10.5 and 11 is good. That is the required specs. All right, excuse my mess. Now let's get started. I usually start by getting a piece of tape. I go all the way around like that. I set it down, and that's where you can stick all your fiber. Your broken fiber that you don't use. Yeah, you don't have to go in any particular order, but just start with any fiber. Anyways, on your strippers, first you want to strip with the middle part, not the smallest part, but the one in the middle. And that's going to strip off the plastic off the sheeting off the fiber. And I usually do about an inch at a time, just like that. And I try to get a good 2 inches off of it, just like that. And then right after I do that, then I'll go to the smallest section of my strippers and get as close as I can to the sheeting. All right, and then we take the sheeting off with the smallest cutout of the strippers, slowly, just like that. Sometimes I do it twice just to make sure I get everything off. Then you want to get your alcohol. Make sure it's spec'd out for fiber. Has to be 99.9% proof. You want to get it clean, squeaky clean. You heard the squeak. That's how clean we want to get it. There it is. That's my fiber. It is stripped and ready to be cleaved. All right, so you want to set it in the cleaver right at 10.5. So right now I have it in the cleaver. It's right at 10.5. You want to be right at 10.5, closer to 11, as you can see there. 10 is my last marking, so the one after that will be 11, and I'm right around the middle. All right, so with this trigger popped out, you want to close the lid, just like that. Push this in, and that should already cleave the fiber. Just pop the lid back open, and there it goes. The fiber is cleaved right at 10.5. And I forgot to mention, you make sure you have your boot on before you cleave the fiber, or else you'll be doing it again. All right, get your fiber. Make sure it's all the way to the back wall of the connector. You want to have a little bend like that, and just squeeze the bottom tabs. And that's it. The connector is terminated. Very important that you have a little bend on the connector. Just like that. And you can re-terminate this a second time. And the way to do it, you just stick the connector, you just stick the plastic bracket into the connector. You want to make sure the plastic tabs inside line up with the bottom of the connector here. Stick it in, just like that. Once it's in, just squeeze it, and the fiber comes back out, and you can re-terminate it. You can only do this once after you re-terminate, and same process to re-terminate. Now that you have all your fibers terminated, just pull all the slack back, right? We're gonna slide open the tray as far as open as it goes. For this LIU, this is as far as it goes, but the top cover comes off, so you have room to play with. Slide everything back, just like that. Usually an LIU will have a little bracket where you can put your zip tie to lock it in. You want to lock it in at the very tip of the armored fiber. You run your zip tie through there. Just like that. Once you have your fiber secured in the LIU, now you can start pre-rating it. And that's why we have enough slack here in order to allow the tray to slide in and out. Now you have your little braid that you can tie up to something. Some LIUs sometimes have a little place where you can lock it in. This one doesn't, so I'm just gonna tie it up to this plastic here. And that's just to keep the, that's just to protect the fiber if somebody pulls on it. Somebody pulls on it, it's gonna pull on the Kevlar first, just like that. All right, so that's my LIU. It's routed. It has enough slack to slide in and out. Of course, you want to test it. Let me set the phone down and see if I can test it. Yep, there it is. It slides in and out. You want to make sure no fiber's going to get kinked sliding in and out, and that's it. Put it in your copper panel. Just look up the color code. It's blue, orange, green, brown, slate white, red, black, yellow, violet, rose aqua.